What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to look at Dark Phoenix and we're going to see how to fight her and who are the best counters for her. So as we're going through the champions here, I'm going to explain what they do and how they counter her. So Dark Phoenix here, whenever she throws a special, there is a 3-second timer. Once this 3-second timer expires, you're going to get a Nova Flame on you. You're going to see it as soon as she throws the special one. So there it is. So if you punish the special though, every hit you do, as you can see, one hit in, it has that 13 weakness on next to the Nova Flame. So this means it's 13% less duration when it actually appears on us. But since Quicksilver has multi-hit combos, he can go up to 99, and when this timer expires, you're not even going to see the Nova Flame. So he completely counters the Nova Flame from the specials, after the specials, no matter what special she throws. And I went for the special one initially to actually get that slow, so we can actually counter her unstoppable on the special one. But you need to actually do like at least a 4-hit combo with Quicksilver here to actually get to 99, so you get no Nova Flame. So he does feel very good for Dark Phoenix. You also have those Withers, which are not going to reverse the power gain, because you can't do that, but they will kind of slow it down. However, though, as you can see, once you get her to the Immortality, she places one Nova Flame on you no matter what you do, and basically this is just going to deal some unavoidable damage. But at least, you know, Despair is going to cover the healing, and as soon as the Immortality goes away, she's going to die. So, you know, you would think 23% loss here is actually pretty bad, but dude, she is such a menace on defense. Like, I don't even know how we're going to do like all those matchups against her, especially like in BGs, because this is obviously like I'm dueling a 7-star rank 3. Now we're going to use our North Star here. North Star, basically the same thing. The multi-combo is going to cover us from the, what's it called? The Nova Flames. However, here, I don't really want to bait a special 2, or sorry, I don't really want to bait a special 1, because the only way for me to actually punish the special 1 is if I get to my special 1 and get this slow. But if you want to be quick with North Star or quicker, you want to go for the special 2 first and then the special 1. So we're going to bait this, and you can actually full dex this special 2, and I'm going to show that in this video multiple times. I haven't really mastered it too much, but, you know, I'm trying. So the damage cap here does not let us throw like crazy numbers, as you can see, but thankfully, you know, Quicksilver and North Star, they have those red numbers, and they can actually kind of bypass it, as you can see. And now we get the slow up, so even if she throws a special 1, we can punish that. But again, the same thing with Quicksilver. There is no way to avoid the Nova Flame from the Sig ability, unfortunately. We can avoid the other ones, but we cannot avoid that one. So yeah, 81% left. Solid, you know, they both lost about like 20% of their health, but they actually pretty much perfectly counter her. And this is, by the way, a Sig 200 Dark Phoenix. Now, a champion you can use for Dark Phoenix is someone that is similar to Dark Phoenix. It's herself. So this is like a weird matchup because you are fully immune to Nova Flame, but she is also immune to Nova Flame. And the way to deal your damage with offensive Dark Phoenix is with, you know, the Nova Flames. But since she is immune to it, this is just going to be a long fight. Like, this is literally the same rank in a duel, so this isn't even really that fast. There's a fully dex there. So, like, I would not really recommend doing this in, like, Battlegrounds unless you have, like, nothing else. Because this fight is pretty safe, but it's going to take a while for sure. You have no way of, you know, bypassing the safeguard that she has, so you're just stuck doing basic attacks and do 2% if she is Sig 200. But, you know, you fully counter even like the Nova Flame from the Sig. So, you know, long fight, but very, very safe for sure. Yeah, I would not really choose this matchup in Battlegrounds, most likely. And then there is also one more champion that is immune to Nova Flame, and that is Iceman. So here I'm going to showcase Iceman twice with a 5-star and then with a 7-star, because I want to show you here that, like, the rank, we have a lot of disadvantage basically on the rank here, because Iceman kind of wants to crit, and if we have a challenger rating from a 5-star to a 7-star, you're not going to see too many crits. And basically here, the only damage that I'm going to take with Iceman is block damage from either the specials or, you know, the parries or trying to bait a heavy. So of course here we want to avoid baiting the special 1s because the unstoppable is going to slow us down. Ideally go for the special 2s. And the good thing about using someone that's immune to you know, the Nova Flames is that if you block the special 2, you actually don't take too much block damage, because Nova Flame is what's causing you to take a lot of block damage on the special 2, because it reduces your block proficiency. As you can see, it barely did anything there, even with the Fury. And yeah, it's taken a bit too long here because we got a 5-star versus a 7-star. But as you can see, man, the health that we lost only from the block damage. Only from block damage. Try and go for the detonation here. Nice full dex. It is actually a bit tricky to get that full dex, but it's not that difficult. I think I can get it down like maybe 90% of the times. I don't know if I can like 100% get it. It's pretty weird sometimes, depending on, you know, the spacing and all that. But keep in mind, in Immortality, only her specials are unblockable, so you can actually pattern her and just, you know, wait it out. And that's it. As you can see, this took a while. It was a 5-star. I think he was ascended. But if we move to the 7-star here, you're gonna see this is a 7-star rank 3 versus a 7-star rank 3. This is gonna be a big difference. Obviously, we're gonna be critting a lot more. We got, you know, more block proficiency and all that stuff, and overall just more damage, more health. So now I think we're gonna go for the detonation here, and boom, that was really good damage. As you can see, full dex that. And so far so good, man. We have her down at 30%. We got 99% of our health as well. Go for one more special 1, and this heavy should put her down to the 1%, as long as we can connect it, and boom, yes, 1%. So now you just wait. There I messed up, but as you can see, I didn't actually take all those hits. I actually dexed some of them. I took like 1 hit from the flames, and then the last one was actually capped thanks to the ice armor. So that's another nice way that Iceman counters Dark Phoenix. You just don't take like the big damage from the special 2 if you happen to like mess up. So yeah, obviously here, a lot faster than the 5-star. And I actually think Iceman is a pretty good counter for Dark Phoenix. I think he's not going to be the best. I'm going to show you the best. I'm going to save for the best as well. But up next, the Nova Flames are energy-based damage. So someone that has tons of energy resistance like Nefaria here when he goes into the overcharge, the Ionic overcharge, is really good. You can actually see that he's actually going to be a very, very, very solid counter. Now we're going to get to our 100 charges here. There we go. And now we get the resistance, which is great. And also he can kind of like handle the death immunity regen if he is in the Ionic overcharge, if he is duped. So you're going to see that towards the end. And we can block this as well. It doesn't do too much damage. We didn't have a flame on there on us. Now we're going to go for the special 2. She is immune to the incinerate, unfortunately. And also the damage cap does not let you do too much damage. But as you can see, man, with the energy resistance that we have and also the special 1 lifesteal, we can kind of like manage being like at 95 to 100% health. And this is a 6-star, I think rank 4 Nefaria, I'm not too sure. But yeah, as you can see, the Sig Nova Flame is kind of too much. And then when they stack, like, you do take some damage. But as you can see, man, 88% health finish against Dark Phoenix is actually very, very good. Moving on, let's see, we have CGR. Okay, CGR is kind of a tricky fight. So, you know, he has the Damnation, which basically removes every single buff that she has. And he doesn't let her get a buff until the duration of it. So you need to have a dupe CGR for this. And you need to make sure that when you actually trigger the death immunity, you have the Damnation on, not activated while she has it, because it counts as a nullify and she will get it as a passive. And also the beautiful thing here, the Damnation is going to remove the safeguard and she can't get it until the Damnation expires. So that means you don't have any damage cap on your special, which is great. Very good counter, honestly, CGR. Not the safest, it's kind of like tough to do. But as you can see here, we're going to go for the special 2 and we're going to have the Damnation on. And damage cap is not going to exist. We can deal some crazy damage and there's not going to be any death immunity because Damnation actually prevents it. But like I said, you need to play this correctly, because if you trigger the Damnation while she has a death immune, it's just going to go become passive with the new duration, basically. So CGR definitely works, but you need to know what you're doing. So up next we have Scorpion. So there is another ability on Dark Phoenix where if you poison her, you reduce the duration of Nova Flames on you by 40% max on champions that are non-mystics. Mystics can reduce it fully, but non-mystics can actually go up to 40%. So you would think reducing it by 40% is not that much, but you can still use the ability that we used on the North Star and Quicksilver matchup. And as you can see here with our full 5e combo, we have minus 65% duration, and then with the poisons, that's gonna go down to or up to 100%. So there is no tick of the Nova Flame right there. As long as you have 4 poisons and you have at least you do at least a 5e combo after you punish the special. So that is the trick here. We're gonna do the exact same thing. We don't want to bait special ones because we can't punish them because we don't have a counter to the unstoppable. And as you will see here, since we have a lot of poisons, a 5e combo paired with this ability means no Nova Flames. And then you are gonna take that Nova Flame towards the end, unfortunately. But the good thing is you have that Petrify to actually heal you slightly, and you don't take too much damage. I don't know why Scorpion is not healing, actually. That was weird. But Scorpion, he can definitely handle this fairly well. I mean, it's kind of like annoying, the Nova Flame, and like the Sig is like unavoidable. But I don't know, I think that Petrify should have worked because like she was trying to heal. I'm not 100% sure why it didn't work. But Scorpion, pretty decent counter for Dark Phoenix. Up next, we have I-Bomb here. This is basically the same strategy. We're gonna try to get some poisons on her, and then by doing a 5e combo, you know, using both of those effects, we're gonna see no Nova Flame duration on us. And then the poison is gonna handle the healing that she gets towards the immortality phase. However, there's still gonna be the Nova Flame on the Sig ability, which we can't avoid, unfortunately, with the Science Champion. But the healing that we get from Willpower should be able to heal us up a little bit so we don't take too much damage. Also here we're using a 7-star rank 3, so you're gonna see like a bigger difference here. And as you can see, there was one tick on the Nova Flame there because we actually went to the Acid Burn, which consumes our poisons, and we only had 1. So, you know, not a big deal. We literally just healed it up in like 2 seconds. But yeah, I-Bomb, honestly, man, now that he's a 7-star, he might actually be like a solid counter for Dark Phoenix. Again, still not the best. For sure not the best. Because this is like the unavoidable damage, but look at that Willpower kind of keeping us up top here. And yeah, pretty solid for I-Bomb right there. Now, we're moving on to Archangel. Arguably the best counter to Dark Phoenix, because you can reduce the ability accuracy of everything. I'm gonna show you this fight. It's so good, man. Like, Archangel is literally the best counter. Obviously, it has to do with like RNG, but you counter the special one Unstoppable, the power gain, you counter everything. No Nova Flame, no immortality. If they are not immune to Incinerate, oh sorry, if they're not immune to Bleed or Poison, Archangel is the king, man. Like, he is such a beast for sure. Like, best counter in my opinion. And that's it. Very, very simple stuff. That was like a 6-star rank 3 in 35 seconds. That was ridiculous. Now I'm going to show you this fight again, just so you can see, like, this first fight was with, like, you know, okay RNG, and this is going to be with stupid, crazy RNG. Like, we're going to get to, like, I think 7 neurotoxins, which is crazy. So yeah, obviously you need a high Sig Archangel to do this consistently, because, you know, you need to have, if you have 3 neurotoxins, or neurotoxins, you basically remove every single ability that she has. 7 neurotoxins, and that is it for Dark Phoenix. So, arguably the best counter for Dark Phoenix so far. Moving on to Danny Moonstar. So this is not the best counter for sure. Because of the damage cap here, you're gonna see why it's not really like the best. But Danny Moonstar actually like basically ignores her immortality phase, which is really nice. So since Dark Phoenix here has the damage cap, I'm just gonna go for like special ones, try and get a lot of newer shocks on her and deal the damage that way, because the special 2 is gonna do nothing with all that damage cap. So I just spam the special 1, and if she happens to throw a special 1 as well, I can punch it because I have that slow, that passive slow. So, you know, Danny Moonstar, I don't think she's gonna work great in BGs for sure, because yeah, you're just not gonna be able to kill her, you're not gonna be able to deal too much damage, and then the Nova Flames are probably gonna get you. But who knows? Maybe there's a meta that, you know, she's great for, or maybe you actually get to fight an unduped Dark Phoenix where she doesn't have like that crazy damage cap. at 2%. And it's gonna be like at 5, so she might be like a little bit better. And as you can see, not too bad, only lost 86% health. Up next, we have Isophene, basically the same thing here. The only thing about Isophene, you know, she is a mystic, so she's gonna take less damage. And also, the charges that she gets, I don't know exactly how they're called, the ego charges. They actually give her like a small percentage of energy resist, so yeah, she probably takes a little bit less damage. I'd say she's a little bit safer than like Danny Moonstar if you want to do this kind of fight. But again, still unavoidable damage because no matter, you know, no matter who you are, you're gonna take that damage unless you like you're fully immune to it, or you know, you have those poisons. So yeah, she's gonna be able to handle this immortality very easily. You get a bit of regen as well. So yeah, I definitely prefer Isophene over Danny Moonstar in this fight. For sure, but none of them are like insane counters. They just counter her most annoying ability. But since the damage cap is there, it's just tough to get there. Now there's Claire, man. Claire is 100% a top 5 counter. She actually might be top 3. So you apply those poisons, as you can see, and because you are a mystic, you can actually reduce the duration by a lot more. Not by 40%, you can make it 100% as well. And she also has that death immunity, which prevents everything. Immortality, power gains, indestructible, everything. Just everything. And then you also have that power steal because Phoenix here, she's immune to power drain. She's not immune to power steal or power burn. So as you can see, we get those poisons in, and then as soon as we punch the specials, paired with the poison ability, we take no, what's it called? Nova Flames. And then we're gonna go for the special 2 here again. No Nova Flame on us, power steal right there. And then we're gonna have the death immunity here to actually handle the the buff immunity to handle the death immunity here. As you can see, Claire just clears Dark Phoenix very, very easily. In my opinion, she's probably like top 3 counter. Only thing that sucks is that she is not really a 7-star, which definitely sucks. Moving on to Spiral, another very good counter. I think this is 100% in the top 5, and you will see why. Like I said, she's not immune to power steal, and Spiral is power stealing left and right. So I'm going to show you this fight twice. This is like the most ideal scenario where she doesn't throw a single special attack, and the good thing about Spiral is that you don't really care about the damage cap that much because you can just rupture her a lot, and then she just can't do anything. And as you can see, she is melting. This is a 6-star rank 5 ascended Spiral. So that's like a lot of advantages that we have on the rank here. But look at that. Beautiful. You just remove that immortality with the swords. And that was the most ideal scenario. So this is going to be the second scenario where what happens if she throws a special? So we definitely want to avoid her throwing a special 1. But what if she throws a special 2? So I'm going to show you a nice trick that you can do with Spiral to take no Nova Flame damage. So we throw that special 1 here, get those blades out. Those blades, we definitely need them for what we're going to do right now. So we're going to bait the special 2 intentionally. Let's say like you have bad AI and they just throw it immediately. So we're also going to heal some of that block damage because of our Sig, which is really helpful. Now, we're going to punish her. Spiral has multi-hit combos. Now, as you can see, we do a 4-hit combo. We're down to 65% duration. However, we got the swords. We throw the swords do count for a hit, and then you can just do it quickly, another combo, and as you can see, 99. So as long as you have the swords, you can do that combo and save yourself from that Nova Flame. And then you want to get that sword up quickly, and boom, as soon as possible to remove that immortality and kill her. So as you can see, Spiral, a very good counter to Dark Phoenix. Moving on to Shathra. Shathra is really decent for Dark Phoenix as well. Not the best counter, but she does have that atrophy, which is going to, you know, allow you to benefit from those buffs that she has. You're going to remove the death immunity a lot quicker as well. And she has power steal, so you can kind of like, you know, bait less specials. We're gonna have to bait this special too, unfortunately. And here we're just gonna go for our heavy. We do have the rank advantage here because this is, like I said, a duel. But as you can see, she takes that immortality very, very fast. And I think she is going to get used a lot because a lot of people have a 7-star rank 4. Shatra, so I'm actually very curious to see how she's gonna do. But again, there is no way you take no damage with Shatra. Moving on to White Tiger. So this fight is literally like flawless, and I don't know how it went that well. I don't think it's gonna go that well in Battlegrounds, but like I said, she's not immune to Power Steal. And all like White Tiger is all about Power Steal. Again, same thing with Spiral. So this fight is literally gonna be like peak. Like, I don't know how it went that well. So as you can see, she hasn't thrown a single special so far. Now the power gain, the Sig from the power gain is gonna allow us to get that. Sorry, the Sig is gonna allow us to get that power drain, power gain, which is really good, and we can just spam specials. And she is never gonna throw a single special attack. And we can heal the damage from that Nova Flame on the Sig thanks to the bleed. So most likely you're gonna have to take damage with my Tiger, because like we got saved by the Sig. Like the Sig gave us that power gain, which allowed us to like spam specials left and right. So you probably have to be like a few specials with White Tiger, but I think that bleed, the healing you get from that bleed is going to help you a ton. But there's no way you're gonna finish with a full yellow bar like I did here. Just keep that in mind. Moving on to Diablo, I think Diablo is the second best counter to Dark Phoenix because he has poisons and he is a mystic. So that means you can reduce the duration of the, what's it called, Nova Flames, I always forget the name, by 100%. As you can see, we didn't even hit her at all after this. And because we had 6 poisons, I believe each poison is 20%. So because we had 6 poisons, there is no Nova Flame. Now we're gonna actually benefit from MD thanks to those buffs expiring. And we can go to our special 2 to actually refresh them. And you're gonna see something really cool here too. So we're gonna bait the special 2 again. I think so. Maybe. Yes, we are. Full deck stat, really nice. And now check this out. So we are not gonna get that Nova Flame from the Sig because we have those 7 poisons. Because like I said, on the Scorpion matchup and the Ibo matchup, we had the poisons, but because they are science, they only reduce the duration of the Nova Flame by 40%. However, if you are a Mystic and you have more than 5 poisons, there is no Nova Flame. And then the poisons cover the healing, so as soon as, you know, she stops healing from that immortality, we can just hit her and that's it. And so that's why, in my opinion, Diablo is the second best counter to the third best counter to Dark Phoenix. He is just amazing. So Diablo so far is top 3, Archangel is top 2, and the number 1 counter goes to Hood. The only reason why Archangel is not rank 1 is because Hood is more consistent and Archangel is based on, you know, RNG. You might get unlucky. However, Hood has that special 2 Hex, which removes buffs and it doesn't let them trigger for the duration of it. And then basically with the power steal that you have from Hood, you can just back to back throw special 2s, and she's just never gonna throw a single special attack, and you will counter the death immunity just like that as well. So high Hood, high Sig Hood is pretty nice if you can have them for Dark Phoenix, but as you can see, number 1 counter in my opinion, there's not gonna be a single Nova Flame on you because she's not gonna throw specials. And yeah, just amazing counter to this. We got 2 more fights here. So we have Absorbing Man. He actually might be the last one, I'm not too sure. No, we got 2 more fights. So this is Absorb Man. I can't really start on the what's it called, the Magma form here because this is a duel. So what I'm gonna do is just bait a special 1 and benefit from those buffs and quickly get to my special 2, change my form before the Incinerate. And as you can see, we're not taking too much damage. 135, that's actually really good. And then if the fight lasts longer here, it's not, because we got a 6th rank Clavicent Absman. If it did, you probably can get to another special 2 and then get some nice regen before the fight ends. And also, since Immortality, since we have Absorber Man, Immortality is not going to last too long. And I think Absorber Man is a really solid counter. He's just not the number 1 because he is a 6-star, unfortunately. But he is a very solid counter and he definitely can work. Now moving on to the last counter here, we got Kindred. Kindred is actually pretty good. He has those atrophies and I think he can reduce the duration of buffs by 60%. I think it's 20% per atrophy and he can max 3. So what we're going to do here is bait a special 1 to get some power gain from MD. We're not going to take some damage here, unfortunately. We have to. But he also has that power steal from his special 2, which means you're not gonna be too many specials from Dark Phoenix that much, which is pretty interesting, to be honest. And obviously Kindred is not really meant to be used in attack. This is a 5-star rank 5 ascended. He actually might be solid for her in BGs. Not the best, but works. And you'll see that death immunity is not gonna last too long. So yeah, he does counter her, just not the best. But if I had to rank the counters, I would say Archangel is number 2. I would say Hood is number 1. And then I'd say Diablo is number 3. And then probably Claire. I think Claire is, you know, just not in the top 3 because she's not a 7-star. And she's stuck at being a 6-star. So the only way you can counter a 7-star Dark Phoenix that's really powerful is with a 6-star rank 5 ascended Claire, which is not going to be fast, unfortunately, because you can't really use Claire's damage phase, which is the Hellfire. You just have to stick on the poisons just so you can, you know, reduce the duration of those Nova Flames. But yeah, man, I did my research on that Dark Phoenix. I think I'm ready to fight her now. I might need to do some rank ups. I might need to actually pray that I can pull a Diablo, or I need to awaken my Hood. But yeah, hopefully this video helped you guys. Let me know who's your favorite counter to Dark Phoenix, and if I actually forgot someone, mention in the comments below. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.